Now we want to find out what's happening, what are the effects of this 500 years without a great thinker coming from the clerical source. What are the problems facing biblical studies, and what are the problems facing traditional Catholic studies, that is, Thomism? Let's begin with the Bible. If you look at the scene of the Protestant churches in the modern world, let's take America, for example. It seems that 40% of the Christians who believe in some of the great television preachers, or those people who believe in the Bible, they tend to lapse into something like the world of mega Christians. That is, they want to make America great, and their philosophy and the biblical studies actually reinforces the validity and the truth of these proclamations by the great television evangelists, by the conservatives, the fundamentalists, in believing that the white Christians in America were destined to make America great. And therefore, their love for their mode of Christianity would end up saving the world, because they believe that they themselves, who are white, who are Protestant, who are Anglo-Saxon, who believe in the Bible, they have the right and they are destined to save mankind. I'm not attacking the mega Christians. I'm just pointing out that this is more or less their belief as they themselves believed. Secondly, in the Catholic Church, we find that there are less and less theologians or schools of theology or Catholic universities spending all their efforts in supporting Thomism or scholasticism. They tend to preach a theology that is, let's say, more ecumenical, more embracing, more scientific. So again, I'm not leveling criticism of the Catholic teaching in the seminaries and in theological faculties. I'm just outlining what I have observed historically, that is, in the real world. So going back to the original question, if our faith is now suffering from two sources. First, the problem of the Bible, its validity, is placed after the research that is being conducted on the Bible. Secondly, the general, let's say, decline of interest in traditional Catholic teaching, Thomism, or scholasticism. What should a philosopher, a thinker, a Christian who believes in the intellect should do? So to reinforce the original question and its answer, perhaps we have to learn that there's a limit to our language. We have to learn perhaps from what the Buddhist faith have taught, how they believe that even the great teaching of the Buddha can be an illusion. Therefore, when it comes to things that are beyond the human language, things that we have not experienced, we have to be careful. So God is not something that we can appropriate ourselves. He is not a toy, or let's say even a sacred object that we possess, that we can work on. That is, we have to be, let's say, humble in believing that our limited knowledge is perhaps something that we have to accept. We don't know everything. We cannot appropriate God and put him in our palms. We cannot talk about things that we think we know. And this is perhaps the first lesson that we have to learn.